Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the Soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another not by creed, but by covenant, and we are called to love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here. Our chalice lighting today comes from the PBS series Call the Midwife. Love cannot ease every anguish in the world, but tenderly applied, it can transfigure fortunes, light up faces, and turn the tide.
We are excited to have Ali Jablonski as our guest preacher today. Ali has been serving as our summer minister all summer long, leading the live parts of our service, and today she'll also be preaching. Ali is the interim director of spiritual care at Tufts Medical Center and is a chaplain on their adult intensive care units. Ali is in preliminary fellowship in our denomination and cannot wait to get ordained here when we can safely gather again together. Ali loves learning about the many forms that the divine takes and connecting to her patients and coworkers over her love of fashion. Welcome, Ali, and thank you for putting this service together today. I'm so happy that we can be here Zooming to worship together. We're doing an awesome job staying together while we are apart. Thanks again and again to our extraordinary tech team, Rich Abreu, Sandy Dixon, Frank Lee, Art Nava, and Barb Seidel. They're making it all possible. If you haven't already downloaded today's order of service, there's a link in the chat, and it's also available on the homepage at ascboston.org. All of the hymn lyrics are included in the order of service and will be posted in the chat so that we can sing together. And now, please say hello in the chat. As we continue our virtual greetings, let's engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends social distance as we greet one another, heart to heart.
The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. new day is dawning, when love will not divide, reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are standing on the side of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim, we are standing on the side of love. We are standing on the side of
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. These candles were submitted at ascboston.org. If you didn't submit your candle and have one you'd like to share this morning, I invite you to type it into the chat. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. Despite having to be apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you. A candle of sorrow from Bob Sessions. Hope and healing for my friend Gloria Charles, who lost her god sister to COVID this week. 3 other family members are fighting to recover from this horrible virus. Please keep them in your prayers and positive thoughts. A candle of sorrow from Erica Roselong. On July 18th, Reverend Gene Pickett died peacefully. While he is remembered for many things, including serving as the 4th president of the Unitarian Universalist Association and being the first minister of a predominantly white congregation to host Reverend Martin Luther King in his pulpit, I will always remember him for being a dear friend to my grandparents. May he be reunited with his love Helen in the great beyond. A final candle of great sorrow and concern from Arlington Street Church as we continue to watch violence erupt at protests across the country, particularly in Portland and Seattle, where protesters have been shot, stabbed, and tear-gassed. We hold up acts of courage that fight for justice and equity, and are outraged that human safety has been made into a political battle. We pray and act for a world where Black lives are honored and can thrive, a nation that truly tends to all who call it home.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary.
Some of us come today in joy. We share your joy. Our one spoken candle of joy today is a mixed candle from Arlington Street Church, beginning with joy, as today marks the 30th anniversary of the signing of the Americans with Disability Act. Thanks to Judy Heumann and countless others who advocated for disability rights, today no child can legally be denied schooling because of a disability. Workplaces and public spaces have been transformed, and we are all better for it. While the ADA brought progress, there is still much work to do to become a more equitable nation. We at Arlington Street Church are so lucky to have our own advocate hero in our own beloved Harriet Hury, who tirelessly marches, speaks, and sings for justice for all, especially for those who have disabilities. Thank you, Harriet, for being our great teacher. May our world continue to answer the call of love and recreate itself as a place that truly loves and embraces all.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be your living sanctuary for you. Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be your living sanctuary for you.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our heart, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of our sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world. Amen. Let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and they're posted in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación, y servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos. Convivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. We have something a little different this week, and I hope that technology cooperates. Jenna is going to read for us and hopefully screen share for us a message for all ages, which is meant to be a story that some people might think of as a children's message, but we can all learn from it. So adults don't often get a chance to be read to. And whether you are an adult or a child or any combination or any place in between, I invite you to rest, enjoy being read to. I hope the images come through, but if they don't, I hope the words reach the places where you most need them. This story is called Love, and it's by Matt de la Pena.
In the beginning, there is light, and two wide-eyed figures standing near the foot of your bed, and the sound of their voices is love. A cab driver plays love softly on his radio while you bounce in the back with the bumps of the city, and everything smells new, and it smells like life. Love, too, is the smell of crashing waves and a train whistling blindly in the distance. And each night, the sky above your trailer turns the color of love. In a crowded concrete park, you toddle toward summer sprinklers while older kids skip rope and run up the slide. And soon you are running among them. And the echo of your laughter is love. On the night the fire alarm blares, you're pulled from sleep and whisked into the street, where a quiet old lady is pointing toward the sky. Stars shine long after they've flamed out, she tells you, and the shine they shine with is love. But it's not only stars that flame out you discover. It's summers too, and friendships and people. One day you find your family nervously huddled around the TV, but when you ask what happened, they answer with silence and shift between you and the screen. In your dream that night, you are searching for a love that seems lost. You open and close drawers, lift cushions, empty old toy bins. You wake with a start in the arms of a loved one who bends to your ear and whispers, "It's okay, it's okay, it's love." And in time, you learn to recognize a love overlooked, a love that wakes at dawn and rides to work on the bus, a slice of burned toast that tastes like love. And it's love in each deep crease of your grandfather's face as he lowers himself onto an overturned bucket to fish. And it's love in the rustling leaves of gnarled trees lined behind the flower fields. And it's love in the made-up stories your uncles tell, in the backyard between wild horseshoe throws. And the man in rags outside the subway station plays love notes that lift into the sky like tiny beacons of light. And the face staring back in the bathroom mirror, this too is love. So when the time comes for you to set off on your own, heavy winds will sweep past your building and great gray clouds will congregate above. Your loved ones will stand there like puddles beneath their umbrellas, holding you tight and kissing you and wishing you luck. But it won't be luck that you will leave with, because you'll have love. You'll have love, love, love.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come dream a dream 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 with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
What is love? I invite you to take a few deep breaths in and a few deep breaths out. What does love mean to you? Love has many definitions. The one that I want to hold up today is this: love as a noun, deep commitment or connection to someone or something or someplace. Love as a verb, to give an assurance of this affection. What does love look like? If you close your eyes and think of love, what do you see? I did a Google image search of love in preparing for this sermon, and the entire first page, I didn't go beyond the first page, was overwhelmed with images of hand-holding, hugging, and kissing. All different types of people, all different ages. Hand-holding, hugging, and kissing. Living through a pandemic brings so much fear. One of the greatest sources of fear is that love will be lost. And if we think of love as only being able to be expressed in these physical ways, no wonder we are scared. We are scared we will lose love. We are scared our children won't remember love or won't learn to love. And we are scared that love will be lost in some way for our future. There is loss, there is change, and we have to grieve that. But even with what is lost, I don't think love is lost. I don't think love will be lost. I think love is around us in beautiful new ways. And I want to take you with me on a tour through one workday of mine to show you what I see love to look like. I work as an interfaith chaplain at one of our Boston hospitals, where I serve mostly on the adult intensive care units. Very few of my colleagues, really, if any, know what Unitarian Universalism is or know what my ministry looks like outside of the hospital. But they now know that I sometimes lead worship or preach sermons because for weeks I've explained that I really need to get out on time to write my sermon that's coming up. Weeks pass, I never quite got out on time. But what I saw around me as I was staying late and not writing my sermon was really my living sermon. So I'd love to take you through just one day at the hospital. And I'll take care to point out all of the areas where I saw love in this place where everyone is extra careful to not extend physical touch unless vital to a patient's health. As I do with any time I preach about my work to ensure confidentiality for the patients, the loved ones, and the staff that I get to walk beside, I've changed all of the identifying details in my stories, but I've worked to keep the essence of who the people are and what happened. So, to start us with this day, I'm getting ready for work. I read articles on my phone as I brush my hair and brush my teeth and pick out my outfit. And I see an article about a Palestinian man who climbs the hospital wall to his mom's hospital room, sitting on the window perch to be close to her while she is treated for COVID. Jihad al-Suwidi sits outside his mom's room every day, watching her until she passes away. My day starts reading his message of love. I arrive at the hospital, and as I head to my office, I see paper hearts everywhere, taped to walls and to windows. Each is different, some a solid color, others with a drawing or a handwritten message. They come from children and adults near and far, meant to offer encouragement and support to the staff serving our hospital and the patients who are here. I see messages of love. I go to one of my units to check on Tom, who is very sick and not improving after a procedure. Tom can look around, but he can't talk. His family met with our team and cried as they said they worry that Tom's care team will not understand how loved he is, that he has a whole life before he was in the hospital, and that he might think they aren't thinking of him because right now our visiting hours are very restricted. As I walk into Tom's room, I see something new. Our copy center and our IT team has made a poster for him. The poster is full of pictures his family sent in. The biggest photo is of his beloved dog. The poster lets everyone know that Tom loves old Western movies, he loves country music, and he is entirely devoted to his dog, Chico. This poster is full of love. When I go to another unit, I hear the start of an unmistakable song blasting out of a room. Is this real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. I raised my eyebrow to Alex, one of our physicians. Oh, that's for Mr. C, he says with a smile. His husband and kids let us know that Queen is his best medicine. Apparently, he and his husband love it. And when they took the kids on road trips, it was Queen only ride. No other music allowed. Sounds fun. We've been singing along. I hope Mr. C knows he's got the whole unit bumping. This is clearly the sound of love. I go deeper into the unit to our conference room, where a group of us is meeting with the family of one of our patients. In this family meeting, we give an update and ask difficult questions about what to do next. Our patient, April, can't speak for herself, so her daughter, sister, and boyfriend join us by phone and tell us all about April. They tell us how much they love April, how much everybody loves April. After the meeting, one of our techs, Hattie, brings in an iPad and pulls the family up on FaceTime, where they express that same love to April. After I leave the family meeting, our clinical leader tells me there is lunch in the staff lounge. The group gathers around a table full of sandwiches and salads and cookies. What's this? I say. Read the note. The note reads, "Dear healthcare workers, thank you so much for all you do for your patients. Our mom was on your unit, and we are so grateful for all you did for her, all you did for everyone. Since we can't come in to thank you, we wanted to send you a good meal, and we hope you feel our love and thanks. We ate and rested and felt the love." After many more pages and visits and phone calls, it is late and I have not written one word of my sermon. I need to make one last delivery. I stop by our unit and see our leader, Daphne, our nursing leader, Daphne. "I've got socks for you," she says. "I've got a decorated bag," I say, showing a bag decorated with pictures of mountains that we know our patient Josephine loves. Josephine is managing too many health issues to count. "I never thought this is what life would be like," she told us. "I just can't live like this anymore. It feels impossible." Josephine's body is no longer in terminal danger, but her mind and her heart are. Josephine told us that she loves the hospital socks, and that while most patients grumble about wearing them, she takes them home, washes them, and uses them on her slippery floor. Daphne and I and some of the nurses made a sock care package for Josephine. Even more than the socks, we want her to know that we see her pain and we care about her. I knocked on the door to drop off our bag, and I see Meg, one of our techs, sitting as close to Josephine as we can safely sit. Her head is bent towards Joe, eyes full of kindness and locked on our patient as she talks about her fears. Meg mostly listens, pausing every now and then to remind Josephine that she deserves all the love, all the patience, and all the care she can get. Josephine tells her how much the company helps. Meg says she still has time to sit and that she will visit the next day. There is incredible love in the listening. My last task of the day is to drop off a form at our main office. "Oh, Allie," my colleague Eliza says, "I have something for you. It's for your office." As a stress-relieving exercise, and maybe because I can't shop for clothes in person, I started redecorating my office when the pandemic really peaked. Eliza emerges with a small object wrapped in tissue paper. It is a small but bright and beautiful quilt with flowing stitching weaving in and around a rainbow flag and held within a rainbow border. Eliza has been ordering beautiful handmade quilts for our units, wanting to bring beauty to our patients. I was shocked that there was a quilt for me. In our conversations, I had told Eliza that part of why I became a chaplain was because the religious leaders that I had growing up told me that because of who I loved, there was no place for me. No place for me in our church, and definitely no place for me in heaven. I wanted to create spaces of love and care in places where there was pain and fear and loss. I just thought, Eliza's words interrupted my thoughts. "I just thought you do so much to include others, and I thought of you when I saw this." I could preach many sermons on how powerful this act of love was for me. There is incredible love in this giving. As I was packing up and changing out of my clothes and into sweats to walk to my car, my phone rang. "Hi, Al," Marg said. I live with Marg and her husband. "I just wanted to make sure you are okay. I know you had planned to leave early to work on your sermon, and it's really late, and just wanted to make sure that you're all right." There is love in this phone call. In our message for all ages, we followed the love that children sometimes get to experience, and the love that we hope all children experience. We saw how love can be a big hug, but love can also be burnt toast. Love can be made up stories. Love can be guitar chords. In just this one day at the hospital, I saw how love can be sitting on a window perch, how love can be paper hearts, how love can be a poster, how love can be talking, how love can be music, how love can be lunch, how love can be socks, how love can be listening, how love can be a quilt, and how love can be a phone call. Where do you see love in your life? Is there love around you that you don't recognize? Are there new places to look, new things to see? And not only where do you see love in your life, but how do you give love? How could you give love? Reverend Dr. Chapman is the psychologist and pastor who created the five love languages, which is a philosophy that looks at the ways that we both show and receive love. Chapman believes that we can show and or receive love in words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, and physical touch. As the pandemic peaked, Chapman said in an interview, "The deepest need we have as humans is to feel love by the significant people in our lives. If we feel loved, life is beautiful in spite of problems we might face. If we don't feel loved, life begins to feel pretty dark." So it's important whether we're going through crisis or not going through crisis. Keeping love alive in a relationship is important, whether it's a marriage or a dating relationship or a friendship or a relationship with children. The need for love is consistent with our human nature. Our desire to love and be loved does not change in a pandemic, and there are many ways to show and receive love. Looking at expressing love in these categories might offer more vantage points for thinking through how we might express our love. Physical touch is the expression of love that has been temporarily eliminated from so many of our relationships. It can be important to make time to hold the people that are in our bubbles, the people we are still seeing face to face. But we don't all have that. And if we don't have people in our bubbles that we feel comfortable touching or holding, we can hold ourselves, holding our hands together or putting a hand over our heart are ways to show love to ourselves and to offer ourselves the comfort of physical touch, even in a pandemic. Words of affirmation become especially important when physical touch is not possible. In our Western culture, it can feel uncomfortable to directly say what we're feeling, but the pandemic can be a time to challenge ourselves to say what we might usually rely on action to show. An example could be, instead of giving a friend who is sad a hug, saying something like, "I care about you so much. It is hard to not be able to give you a hug and to hold you." All the sentiment of a hug, love, support, concern, connection. I am feeling all of that for you right now. And I want you to know that even if I can't hug you, I love you, I support you, I'm concerned for you, and I feel connected to you. I'm here. There is so much need and so many opportunities to help, especially now. We might not be able to collaborate in service projects or spend time with people we seek to help, but we can find ways to make our care personal, even if we can't physically be with someone. Instead of taking our neighbor grocery shopping, we can pick up groceries for them, and we can leave a letter with their groceries. This letter can be seen as another love language, gift giving. Many of us are experiencing loneliness during the pandemic, missing our work colleagues, our families, our friends, or just strangers that we're used to seeing. Quality time might look different but it is desperately needed. All of us right now are spending quality time together, even if it's different. And it's such a gift. Scheduling FaceTime or Zoom, writing texts or emails, or even handwritten letters, meeting someone for a socially distant walk or a wave outside. These are great expressions of quality time. Matt Della Pena dedicated his book, Love, the story that we began with. He dedicated this to his parents for a lifetime of love. A lifetime is a long time. Love can take many forms, reaching us in all kinds of ways. In this time, when the pandemic forces us to show love in different ways, I ask you to remember that love is still here and to be thinking about what love looks like for you. It can be scary to not have our ordinary ways of showing and receiving love. But when we can't access the ordinary, we have an opportunity to find extraordinary. May this time that brings us away from the known and the usual give us an opportunity to break open love, letting love come to us in new forms and new colors. And may love's persistence in a pandemic, may this persistence be an incredible reminder of how holy and how powerful love is. Blessed be, and amen. At the close of today's service, during virtual coffee hour, an invitation will appear on your screen, inviting you to join a breakout room. This is an opportunity to visit with each other in a smaller, quieter setting. If you click yes, you'll automatically find yourself there. You can just say hello, or you might want to share a thorn and a rose from this past week, what's hard and what's good. Please be sure to leave time for everyone to speak. I'll try to get around to each breakout room to say hi. After a few minutes, you'll be invited back from your breakout room to say goodbye to everyone. There are so many great moments of connection continuing to happen in the Arlington Street Zoom room. Thank you to all who are serving as hosts this summer to keep these programs going. A full list of events and link to the Zoom room can be found at ascboston.org. Whether you have been a part of our community for decades, or whether today is your first service with us, all are welcome at any of our events. Reverend Kim and Beth invite you to join them for iced tea in the Arlington Street Zoom room this coming Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Bring your own tea. I'll look forward to seeing you here next Sunday morning when I will be, I forgot one part of the script to update, which is my mistake. But I hope you will all be here next week. Every service has been incredible, every preacher incredible, and I hope someone will type into the chat what I've missed. Thank you so much for coming every week. We look forward to seeing you, and we hope that you remember, love is the spirit of this congregation, and we are all in this together.
Wonder still our world shall witness, never known in days of old, never dreamed by ancient sages, howsoever free and bold. The sons and daughters shall inherit wondrous words true, us unknown. When the dawn of peace and splendor over all the world has thrown, they shall rule with winged freedom, worlds of health and human good, worlds of commerce, worlds of science, all made one and understood. They shall know, world transfigured, which our eyes but dimly see. They shall make its towns and woodlands beautiful from sea to sea. For a spirit then shall move them, we but vaguely apprehend, aims magnificent and holy, making joy and labor friend. Then shall bloom in song and fragrance, harmony of thought and deed, fruits of peace and love and justice, where today we plant the seed.
I invite you to engage in the love language of touch, placing a hand over your own heart or putting your hands up, virtually touching the hands of those in the squares next to you. Our benediction today comes from the epilogue of the musical Les Miserables. Take my love, for love is everlasting, and remember the truth that once was spoken. To love another person is to see the face of God. Friends, the service begins where the service ends. Go in peace and find love all around you. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine,
please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.